Have you ever been in mid-presentation and out pops that tiny, sneaky syllable, Yeah, that one. That little sound sneaks in like an uninvited guest at your vocal dinner party. Or have you ever felt your flow grind to a halt right after an as if your confidence just tripped over its own shoelace? Or maybe you've been crushing your talk and then suddenly your start to stack up like little dominoes and your audience's attention quietly slips away. Or that feeling where every feels like a public confession of anxiety. And that moment where your mouth whispers, I'm not sure, even though your heart knows exactly what to say. If that's you, you're not broken, you're human. And we all use filler words after all. And in fact, studies show that we use like 2 to 3 every time that we speak off the cuff. So take a deep breath because you're in good company. Hi, my name is Clinton Jordan and I am the Motivational Vocal Coach, and my mission is to activate 1 million voices across the world to give you power in your presence, poise in your speech, and confidence in your delivery. Because we're not looking for perfect, we're looking for better, bolder, more human communication. So today we are tackling the big one, the question every speaker asks themselves at some point. Is our our friend or foe? Well, let's find out. But before we take a dive in today's topic, let's just do all the grown-up stuff and get it all out the way. You know, the bit where I sound like every YouTuber on caffeine. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you already know the drill. Just hit the like button and smash the subscribe button and what's the other doodahs you do? Ring the little notification bell, and that would be good for me, so you don't ever miss an episode where I help you unlock your voice. And listen, if you're listening on the podcast, make sure you follow or subscribe wherever you get your daily motivation. So you can keep training your musical muscles, your vocal muscles every week. Oh, and don't forget to share this episode with someone who needs it, because we're on a mission and we want to activate 1 million voices across the world. So every time that you like, subscribe, or follow, you're helping someone else find their voice too. And guess what? Those follows, likes, and comments aren't just vanity metrics. They're applause for a performer. All right, admin over, CTA's handled. Let's get back to the good stuff, where we get those and kick them to the curb and help our confidence grow. Or do we kick them to the curb? All right, let's be honest. Get a bad rap, and for years it's been labeled as a flaw, a filler, a sign of nerves. But what if I told you your might actually have some purpose? You see, every is a tiny musical note in your message. It's part of your melody. It's part of the melody in your speech. And yes, even the awkward ones play their role. So let's put the under the musical microscope and let's take a closer look at the anatomy of the ums. Okay, so there's 2 components to every and once you hear them, you'll never unhear them again. So let's take a look at the first part of the which is the onset, the tonal spark, the little melodic injection that drops a key in your conversation. And some people think this sounds odd or out of place, but in reality, the is the foundational note to your message. It sets the pitch, frames the key, and quietly establishes the emotional starting point of whatever you're about to say. The second half is called the It's the hum, the resonance, the body of the sound, and this is where the comfort hides, meditative, chant-like. And the same kind of sound is what the monks use to ground themselves in calm, and that's why we're drawn to it. The hum makes us feel safe, centered. But like anything soothing, it can become a false sense of comfort, especially when we lean into it too heavily. That's why we don't eliminate our we educate them. Put them back in their place. We give unction to the so it can function in our gumption. All right, sorry for rapping. Now, before we dive in, I want to share something with you. I have a stutter, and it comes out to play every now and then. And I thought that every stumble, every pause, every was a crack in my credibility. But those cracks, they became the spaces where I breathed my authenticity. That's when I learned pause is power, and your silence can speak just as loudly as your sound. So if you're ready, let's open up the mic on these 5 family archetypes, because once you meet them, you'll never hear fillers the same way again. Number 1, the nervous nibbler. It shows up when your brain hits the brakes, but your mouth keeps moving. It's like that friend who nervously eats snacks during awkward silences. Fill in the gaps while your thoughts catch up. Number 2, the philosopher, deep, pensive, thoughtful. Stares off into the distance, pondering life's mysteries, when you're really just trying to remember the next slide. It buys time and then somehow makes you sound smarter while doing it. Number 3, the light bulb moment. Yeah, that spark when the idea clicks mid-sentence. It's your brain shouting, yes, that's it. It's energetic, burst of clarity. Number 4, the lost tourist. This one meanders through your sentences like it's looking for Google Maps. It's hesitant, hopeful. It's a little unsure of where the landmark is. And finally, we have the shrugger, casual, carefree, nonchalant. It's the whatever, you know what I mean. You know, that member of the family. Each one has its own pitch, own rhythm, own resonance, and together they create a kind of musical fingerprint. Your personal vocal melody. Now here's the secret. It's not about eliminating the ums, but it's about orchestrating them. Because when you fear your you slam the brakes on in mid-sentence. But when you own it, you glide through like a jazz musician riffing between beats. So yes, your ums can be an overzealous backup singer coming in before you found the key. Maybe a little enthusiastic, slightly off timing, but with the right awareness, you can turn that backup singer into harmony. So let's talk moderation. Using an is like having an alcoholic drink. Sip just enough and you feel relaxed, confident and in control. But overdo it, you're verbally inebriated. You start to slur, clarity is gone and you're losing focus. And before you know it, boom, you've driven your presentation right into a communication ditch. And that's when the public speaking police appear in your rear view mirror. And they pull you over in mid-sentence, shining the light on your credibility. And then they sentence you to audience disengagement. So here's the golden rule. Just like drinking, responsibly. So when you learn to hear your instead of fear it, you unlock awareness. You shift from autopilot to artistry, and that's when your voice becomes music. That's when you find your melody in your message. Because in the world of AI, we need all the human we can get. We need all of the human experiences to connect. Your voice doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be present, honest, alive. So instead of fearing the filler, finesse it. Use your pauses like percussion, shape your words like rhythm, and let your voice lead the conversation. Do you want to take your voice to the next level? Then why don't you try my 4 voices scorecard and discover which vocal animal will help you with your pitch, presence, and your power. It's fast, fun, and very insightful. And remember, your is not your enemy. It's your awareness coach. It's your rhythm check. This is your voice. Use it with power. And remember, pause is power. One more time, my name is Clinton Jordan and I am the Motivational Vocal Coach, and I'm here to help you find your voice. Whoever you are, wherever you are, have a wonderful day or night.